This season has delivered everything in terms of the fights, and I don't just mean that in terms of the action, but the results as well. Huge knockout kicked off the series with Bo Gavin versus Aaron McDonald.
That was boss, that, you know, that, taking the victory from my own country.
The shock of all shocks by the submission expert Jake McHugh getting submitted by the striker Armand Erkseg.
They know I'm the dark horse now, they're shocked and surprised.
And then, of course, we had George Staines making his debut in what then was the fight of the season, the back-and-forth battle between him and Matthew Elliott, which we will remember forever.
It's not a violent man's game, it's a thinking man's game.
And then the people's main event, Hassan Galazi versus Dennis Frimpong. And again, I said it, sometimes the build-up does not deliver the action you want in the fight, but my goodness, those guys laid it on the line, and Dennis Frimpong backed up every single thing he said.
I'm better in every aspect. I farted on his head, I've splashed toilet water on him. He's gonna be the one that's sacrificed to the MMA gods.
He then did it again. He then did it again when he took on Bo Gavin. And for me, the heart of a warrior was shown in the performance of Bo Gavin. That is a loss, but I promise you that is not the end of what Bo Gavin will be in the world of mixed martial arts.
A bit of a battle, you know what I mean? Too much into like a bit of a war. Tried to knock him out as much as I could.
I've never been hit like that before. He's a tough kid. He got through 3 5-minute rounds with me. Anyone who can do that is a tough guy.
And now we have the final, with the story behind it after George Staines finished quite handily Armand Erkseg.
So I'm showing that people how dangerous I am.
To give us the finale in Manchester. We have England, we have Ireland, we have Dennis Frimpong versus George Staines.
It's been a mad few months, I'll tell you that.
Hey, it's actually a full-on double bed.
I did come here not knowing exactly what to expect.
How do you put it on?
You know, living with 7 other lads,
How does that feel that everyone knows you're a bitch?
fighting with one of them. Pranks, challenges, the whole lot.
This has been very unique.
And today we're making some langosh.
It was one of the best experiences of my life. Start of it, lads, this is the start of it.
Been one mad blur of just fighting, flying in the air, flying through water, and then upsets and victories.
But do you know what the funny thing was? Like, during the process, it was sort of like, I wish it was near over. And as soon as it was over, I wanted to go back. That says a lot.
It's given me a lot of life lessons, you know.
The bad things that happened, the downs, actually made me a better person. I would definitely 100% recommend any fighters to get on this.
This one is a little bit easier, especially if you're
It's a brilliant opportunity.
It has truly been a roller coaster of emotions, and that is truly mixed martial arts and MMA.
It was fun. It was some good times, a very good fight.
I learned a lot of things about myself. You meet the little people, some new people.
I saw you quit though. I saw you quit though. I saw you quit, like. I saw you quit.
I've met some people I'll be friends with for the rest of my life, hopefully.
Do you want to fucking go outside?
Right, let's go.
Yeah, fucking sound.
Calm, cool, bro.
Here's what it is, fucking, that's it, how it's on. Want to put it like that? Put it then.
Yes, buddy. Yeah!
Just think about it, something good, cool to tell your kids when you grow up. I thought in a reality TV show, do you want to watch it? And you can watch it, you know, it's cool, you know, it's a lifetime experience.
We saw 7 amazing episodes of this show.
This was our best Octagon challenge, not just because these 8 guys, but because of the chemistry what they've got between themselves. Through the whole show, it was up and down. It was an unbelievable journey for us, for them, and I believe also for you. Why we believe that this series is so exceptional, it's because of these guys.
These are the stars, the 8 fighters that have put themselves forward, the 8 guys that stepped up, stepped into the spotlight.
And imagine just a few months ago, they were just unknown fighters. And right now, people are requesting them for photographs, for autographs.
And everybody's got that passion, you know, to be the star, to believe that they can win.
Winning this show will give you a stamp, like you are the one.
I was a born fighter.
I'm a different person in the cage sometimes.
When I get in there, it is my true self.
I'm focused and I'm ready.
I have that warrior spirit in me, that warrior heart.
I'm one of the best in the world. I think I have the biggest motivation out of everyone.
This is a fight. I've been dealing with people that want to kill you.
This is what we are doing. This is what was the purpose of all this show, to show the world that these amazing characters deserve attention of people.
This is to show the sport, the beauty of mixed martial arts. To break down the myths and preconceptions, what people might think, you know, it's just a violent thug's game, whereas what you find out is people from all different backgrounds, people for all different reasons get invested or take part in this sport, and it brings the best out in you. This is what it's all about, right? This is the whole aim of this show, to show you guys exactly why mixed martial arts is the fastest growing sport in the world and contains superheroes, legends, warriors, gladiators that should be role models as well.
For what they are doing, for their hard work, for their hard trainings and crazy fights.
I love this show. I love this show because of what it does as a platform for these guys.
We bring English and Irish fighters to Octagon 47 on our event, and you saw what happened?
The public training was immense because I think, again, these guys got to see the scale of Octagon.
That was a great experience to get up there and feel that energy of the crowd.
It's great to meet the fans. It's great to interact with them, you know, shake their hands, look them in the eye, get to know their names, see the people that love watching Octagon.
For me, it was actually way more scary and nerve-wracking than any fight I've ever had.
It's crazy because this would be the lad's first ever experience of that. I didn't even think about that, to be honest.
It's very rare in the UK or even beyond that you get that size of audience turn up for public weigh-in.
Hopefully it gives them a lot of motivation to know that, yo, this can be even bigger. You know, this is just the grassroots.
But it was amazing, you know, these people have come out to watch the weigh-ins and also watch us train.
And who else wants to come up? Any of the young ones? Get up, lad, get up.
It's not all about, you know, us. Like, you know, you want to get other people involved as well, and
it shows that we want to give back to the people that are supporting us as well.
The heavyweight champ of the world! Yes, man!
So I think sometimes you have to put the young ones first. They're the true fans. They're the ones who are begging the parents, please, I want to go and watch my favourite fighter.
They're supporting us, so like we're going to support them as well. Gotta let them have a bit of it, let them get a taste of it.
Without the fans, we wouldn't be able to do any of this. I'm very grateful for the amount of people that turned out.
We went out there as Jedi Master and Padawan.
Where I'm from, if you're a Jedi, you're a Begeistert.
They are like real stars. They are now stars of Octagon MMA, and people love them.
I'm sure it's a moment they'll remember forever.
The signings, that was a mad experience. You know, we've never obviously done that.
To get to sit there and sign pictures of me and give it to fans was amazing.
Pretty surreal, that's all I was saying. Like, it's just like, yeah, people are looking at my signature, all right, happy days, eh?
At the autograph signings, I loved it because it's just a taste of what is to come.
You know, people end up looking at your signature. It's a mad one.
The little child inside me, the little arm man, is very happy with that. That's something that I've dreamed of doing all my life.
They deserve it. What they did on the podium, it was amazing.
Obviously, during the workouts and the autograph signings, we didn't have the full teams, which is a shame. Some were working, some were in other countries. Dennis Frimpong was supposed to be here.
Yeah, I was really disappointed I missed it, to be honest.
But the airlines were against him.
The flight was cancelled, and I had to wait like 8 hours in Munich airport for the next flight.
If anybody would have relished that moment more than anybody else, it would have been Dennis Frimpong.
Actually, I got a lot of that. People just came out of the blue, just being like, oh man, you know what, you're class, like you're a legend and all this stuff. Not on the street.
I was back home in Ireland, actually. I was in one of the shops, and there was a Czech who was actually behind the till, and he asked me if I was fighting on Octagon there recently. He actually recognised me as he was a fan of Octagon.
It's on Channel 4, which is massive, like, you know what I mean? I grew up watching Channel 4 and stuff, so nice seeing my face on it. It's like, what's going on?
It's a bit of a weird one because, like, you know, watching yourself on Channel 4 and still being broke is kind of annoying, you know what I mean?
When I'm in the gym a little bit, people are like, oh, I've been watching your TV show and that. I'm just like, yeah, oh, thank you, mate.
I was in the gym the other day at the sauna, and I had a guy come up and ask me if I'm that guy from Channel 4.
But not so much on the streets, which I'm happy about.
This is real life. This is reality. The good guy doesn't win. Nice guys finish last in real life. I'm going to prove that once again. I'm going to show George that this is real life and this isn't one of his anime or one of his Star Wars movies.
Dennis Frimpong, yeah, he has been, I'd say, the Marmite of this show.
I'm the same person behind camera, off camera, on camera, whatever it is.
It's how Dennis is in person, that is how Dennis is in life.
He set out his stall right from the start.
I talk a lot of shit. I'm not here for people to like me. I'm here to become the world champion.
Dennis's role to play has always been to stoke the flame.
If he just chat shit, he wouldn't be entertaining, but he chats shit and he gets the job done in it, so you have to respect it.
We should know that this sport isn't the game. It's a brutal part of a brutal sport.
Any advantage that we can take in the professional forum, we'll take it.
It's mind games, you know, it's the art of war.
There is also a grudge to be settled. There have been words that have been said that maybe shouldn't have been said.
I just described his grandmother as a transvestite.
So you're insulting your granddad / grandma / he, she.
When I said what I said to him, he didn't say anything to me. He sat there and he played his little video game and he didn't do a thing about it. And then the next day, he sat in a dark room like this and he started crying. So I think he's fake, to be quite honest.
I'm not bothered that I cried, mate. You know, I genuinely didn't know why I did.
There's no way that a man can make you cry and you can say it won't have an effect on the fight.
If I have an issue with someone, I say it to them. If I want to smash someone's face in, I'll say it to their face.
All the talking means nothing. I'll save it for when we're in the cage.
As much as people hate or love me, I'm real with who I am. George is a bit more of a chameleon, you know? He changes depending on the situation that he's in.
He thinks he's being real clever by, you know, like doing loads of stuff to me.
Knew when he went on the show he was gonna take it well too far, but like, it's entertaining, innit? Like, everyone who's watched it has said, I wanna watch the next episode.
He's just not that, he's boring. Like, to me, he's boring. Like, his antics are just basic. The jokes that he says are basic.
When he said all those things about Staines' family, Dennis has done that plenty of times before to people at the gym. So I know it's not an uncommon thing for Dennis. That's his personality.
And if he's living in the red rent-free, what are they going to do when they're in front of him? Because they're just going to get emotional. Once people are emotional, they make bad decisions.
I think a lot of people that get upset by words haven't been punched in the face enough. I'm happy to be the villain. I'm happy to be the bad guy because the good guy finishes last in real life.
He focuses on other people than himself, which is not what you should do as a fighter.
George Staines has had an absolute roller coaster of a time here on the show. His biggest win by far, under the biggest spotlights, with cameras watching. And then we get the drama of the medical situation that happened afterwards. George Staines, above all the fights he's ever had, has never been this emotionally motivated to get revenge on somebody, an opponent.
I don't hate him, I don't like him, do you know? I don't really feel anything when I think of him, do you know what I mean? He wants me to get angry and, you know, pissed off at him. I know he does because that's what he does. That's how he gets into people's heads. But my feelings are like zero towards him.
Dennis Frimpong has wanted this fight for forever.
When we were filming Dennis Frimpong at his home, that was first filming day, he was saying, "Oh, guys, I want to fight at the end in finale that Lego guy. I want to show him that he should train and not play with Lego."
I've called George out several times over the last year and a half. 18th of July 2022. Hey pussy, are you still there?
Because George Staines, as an amateur, was ranked as the top prospect.
He was ranked #1 in the country at the time, and I believed at the time that he did not deserve that #1 ranking. There was better fighters in the UK scene than him.
I was doing the IMAFs at the time, so I was like, this is like the biggest thing in amateur MMA, so.
George can, as he's shown, he out-wrestled the best wrestler in the tournament, so.
I can't remember what he said, but he was like, "Oh, fight me, fight me." I'm like, mate, you just lost your last fight. The only person he's beat a professional is 0-5.
When we mentioned that George was in the show, there was a spark in his eye.
I don't think he knew I was going to be on this show when he agreed to go on it. Because honestly, I believe that if he knew that I was going to be here in that house with him, I don't think he would have done it.
It reads like a book, and not a very good book at that, one might say.
For many people, this is a fight that the show has built. But for me, this is kind of a fight that Dennis Frimpong has manifested from a very long time ago.
But when Dennis tries to talk to George, he's just like, okay.
I've got the credentials, whereas Dennis has no credentials whatsoever.
So I'm glad that everything worked out the way it did, because now I'm going to get to show that I'm better than him on a big platform like OKTAGON.
Dennis has been chasing George for a long time. Dennis might not have been in our sights, but George has definitely been in his for a long time. I think Dennis is after airtime. Dennis is after, you know, some attention, and that's what a lot of the show's about. It's about making a name for yourself.
I think Dennis's behaviour is exactly what George needs. He needs a nemesis almost to bring out the best in him.
I've had a to and fro with Dennis online myself. People like that need to do that to build themselves up because he ain't the character he thinks he is. He thinks he's got George rattled, he's rattled.
Dennis is good with his mouth. Don't get me wrong, he's a good fighter as well, but he's not as good as George.
I'm just training hard like I always do. Monday through Saturday, I'm training hard. I'm going up to next gen. I'm going up to see Brad Pickett. Not much has changed, obviously, just the intensity in what I'm doing. Like, I'm doing everything more professionally now.
George is getting ready, doing exactly what we normally do. Obviously, there's at the pro ranks, there starts to be more footage on people so you can prepare and game plan for people a little bit more specifically. We're not changing anything too much. We're not reinventing the wheel here. We're not going to change what George is doing. What George does works, and that's been proven against many, many different opponents, you know, in many different skilled areas. So we're doing exactly what we're doing. We're keeping him sharp. We're getting him better, improving day by day, and that's what he'll continue to do.
I've trained as a professional since I was about 18, you know, 19, so I do in rounds has changed, because obviously I'm fighting for 5 minutes, not 3. I have trained like a professional, but like obviously you can always polish everything, you know. Nothing stays the same in this sport. You always have to be progressing with the times, and that's what I'm doing. Getting better and better and better each camp.
It's nice to see someone from Hull get that far and go abroad and do these sort of things. I'm extremely proud of him for being on the show. It's a big stepping stone for him.
This is huge. Me and George have spent a long, long time building up to this, and it's been really cool to watch him go from just, you know, a local amateur to this now, and this is a massive opportunity. It really is one of the biggest shows in Europe. It's a great opportunity for him.
This is just the beginning for George. George has got so much talent. George is absolutely world class, and he'll prove that to everybody.
Hit Squad Hull. What can I say? Can you name any fighters that hit Squad Hull? For the final, I'm training hard. Get up every morning, 10 a.m. is training. Usually 2 or 3 sessions a day. Been 3 phases of camp, a couple deload weeks in between, and we're now in the final phase. And going online and, you know, trolling people.
90% of this sport is mental. So if I can penetrate and infiltrate into your own thoughts, because once you start worrying about what people are thinking and your ego and stuff like that, in my opinion, you've already lost.
I've got 4 more weeks to prepare. I've not been losing rounds in training. My level has jumped up. Everyone in the gym said my level has jumped up so much in this camp.
His level's gone crazy. He's ready to fight with the guys at the very top of the lightweights, let alone these newbies.
I'm training with guys that used to beat me up in the gym, and I'm beating them up now. I've got Bellator fighters in my gym, a former OKTAGON champion in my gym. Who does he train with? Don't know if you can see like how big my biceps have gotten.
At the OKTAGON Challenge, it's really going to propel Dennis's career forward exponentially, to be honest.
This is going to be massive for his career, especially because he gets to show his big personality. He's a northern nut, but he's a proper sound guy, do you know what I mean?
Getting that 25 grand contract, if I'm correct, is going to be a big thing. It's life-changing money, really. When you've got to split it 50 and 50 between working a little job just to fund your training, because if you didn't work that job, you couldn't train, because you don't have the money to live. Once you can fully concentrate on your training, your performance in the cage will tenfold.
So I'm watching some George Steins here in the meantime. I've watched this fight maybe 8 or 9 times. Yeah, I can see what little tells he has, what he throws before, what his setups are. They said there that he's fought everybody, but he was scared to fight me. I think it's just going to be a culmination of years of hard work. And once I'm in that cage, it's going to be like always. It's going to be like I'm lying in bed, comfortable, and he's going to be left in a hospital bed, uncomfortable.
So we bring guys to OKTAGON 47 to show them what they can expect if they stick with OKTAGON, if they rise on our rankings, and if they're gonna be stars in one day. "12,000 people, sold-out arena." These guys, they recognize now what's happening really under our brand.
This event was absolutely amazing. The biggest and the best part of it was the fans.
I embrace the boos as well. I think any of it is atmosphere, whether it's cheering, whether it's booing, you know, it's still energy. So yeah, I love it.
The crowd were amazing. The atmosphere was amazing. What a show.
Phenomenal event. Couldn't have watched anything better.
Začal hlavný zápas večera, titulový zápas. Oh my days! Oh my days! What?
Hey, good thing I
What? Hey, that's what's gonna happen to you, lad. That's what's gonna happen to you.
See the energy, the vibe.
I cannot wait to feed off the energy that the fans give when you're walking out.
Every time I saw someone do the walk, I was imagining myself.
Immediately, they told me that they wanted more.
It's what a time to be alive and to experience all this.
That was nuts, to be honest. I'm gonna try and top that.
Now we are in front of the finals. We can kick the doors and go through it with the last 2 men standing.
I'm gonna put on another amazing performance, you know. With George, I honestly believe that it will be a first-round finish. He's gonna shoot for my nuts, you know, he's gonna sniff my ball bag. So I don't think it's gonna be an exciting fight, unfortunately. I think it's gonna be a really fast, really violent finish, and people are gonna be really surprised by how quickly I finished him.
The Menace is gonna go and get the job done, and, you know, Team Ireland are gonna be victorious.
I think he'll be able to make it very rough and into an actual fight, you know, not an MMA competition.
They've actually had a lot of back and forth on the show. I know I'm fighting on the same night, so if I fight after them, I'll be disappointed that I didn't get to watch it.
I'm going in there to kill George. I want him unconscious. I'm gonna jump out of the cage and I'm gonna spit on his unconscious body, and then I'm gonna maybe even spit on his coaches, who knows. Come in there to do him violent harm, to paint that canvas like Leonardo da Vinci with George's blood. And maybe when I send him to the hospital, unlike Matthew, he won't come out of the hospital and he may never get cleared to fight again.
Say what you want, mate. It's inevitable that we're going to fight now. So you'll have to deal with the consequences of what you say in the cage. It's inevitable now. It's a fight I'm looking forward to. I'm very, very looking forward to giving the consequences of his actions. For like karma's a bitch in it, so like all those bad things you're saying, like towards Jake, towards Hassan, all comes around in the full circle. So and I am the full circle.
I do see this as a very tough fight for both of them, but I do feel like George has a bit more ways to win.
Like you're saying, I'm not going to take him down. Like I'm pretty sure I'm going to take it down, mate. Hassan and Bo both took it down, and I can wrestle just as well as them two. He thinks I put on this persona of being a geek and that. I'm like, mate, my bedroom won't be full of like Lego, Star Wars, Naruto stuff. It is how I like to live.
I don't see it like a striking star fight. It's gonna be a pure MMA fight, obviously on George's side, you know what I mean?
It's gonna be a back and forth fight that's gonna be one etched in history in OKTAGON Challenge.
That's gonna be a good one, man. I'm excited, super excited for that.
George can get the stoppage. George can get the victory on decision or stoppage.
I feel like George is probably just going to take him down.
It doesn't really matter. A fight's a fight and a win's a win. Like, no matter how I win, I've won.
The finale. The grand finale, OKTAGON Challenge, England versus Ireland, Season 1, is a battle of the two fighters that truly did rise to the top over this series. Dennis Frimpong, George Staines.
They are completely different, but also they are chasing the same dream.
We cannot imagine it better. It's England versus Ireland.
Dennis Frimpong is unorthodox. He is, you know, he's dangerous everywhere. He's hard to hit. He's hard to knock out. He's never been knocked out. And on the ground, if you decide to take him down, then he has an exquisite guard. George Staines, though. George Staines believes he has the keys to that puzzle. He believes he is a better grappler. He believes he is a higher level jiu-jitsu player. He believes now, with professional rules, now that elbows are allowed, he can cause more damage than he was able to do beforehand.
In Manchester Arena, it's gonna be something special. We are coming to England.
Be there and support these fellas because they deserve it.
This is not just about fighting. This is not just about money. This is not just about a title. This is two completely dedicated young men chasing a dream.
This is it. November 4th, last piece of this puzzle. Who will win? Which country will be celebrating at the end of this show? This epic battle between these two countries, these two guys, is going to its end.
After breaking attendance records across Europe, OKTAGON MMA is now set for their first event on British soil. where UK fans will finally get to experience the breathtaking live spectacle that Octagon is renowned for in Europe and beyond. On this night, 2 champions will be crowned. In the main event, we will see the UK's Aaron Abbey, a man who has been fighting since his first breath, take on his toughest test to date. American and UFC veteran Elias Garcia in a fight for flyweight gold. Plus, the grand finale of the MMA reality TV show, Octagon Challenge, England versus Ireland. After 10 months of training, a feature bout that puts 2 UK stars that nobody would expect to see inside the cage going head-to-head.
Ladies and gentlemen, crowd, one more time, Paul Smith!
One of the UK's best comedians will take on reality TV superstar Jake Quickenden.
I used to watch his stuff and think he's fucking funny. Now I've got to punch him.
2 of Europe's most decorated bantamweights will battle it out for the #1 contender spot as England's Jack Cartwright takes on Croatian killer Anton Racic. After months of trash talk, the grudge will finally be settled as Liverpool's rising star Shamrock.
Listen, there's a certain police officer out there who won't keep my name out of his mouth. Corny, sign the contract or shut the fuck up.
Will get his wish and will face off against the Czech warrior, Jaroslav Pokorny.
Huge punishment for Pokorny.
The British Slayer, Jakub Banik, will come up against the Force when he faces Jedi, Akon Wanless.
I know you guys might hate me, but one by one, and one day, I will be champion.
Octagon 48 goes down November 4th at the historic AO Arena in Manchester. Great Britain, Octagon is coming. Tickets from just £19 on sale now at Ticketmaster.